The world's population grows at the pace of 4 births per second, each one coming with its own unique identity. But once in a millennium, Mother Nature stuns the world, not with beauty or brilliance, but with something far bizarre. We're talking about people so out of this world that it's hard to believe they are real. Let's take a look at the lives of 15 such humans who are only born once in 1,000 years. But before we move, be sure to smack that thumb-shaped thing. Okay, Zawo. With that said, let's dive in. Number 15. Zion Harvey. Zion was just 2 years old when a life-threatening infection turned everything upside down. He developed sepsis, a serious condition that forced doctors to amputate both his hands and feet. But that wasn't the end. Later he received a kidney transplant, donated by his fearless mother. Most children would have been shattered. But this brave boy didn't fold. Even without hands, he learned to write, eat, play video games, and run using prosthetic feet. His determination never wavered. Then came something historic. At just 8 years old, Zion became the first child in the world to undergo a double hand transplant. In 2015, a 40-person surgical team at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia spent 10 hours attaching donor hands to his arms. Days later, they turned pink. Blood was circulating. With rigorous therapy, Zion gradually regained movement, tying his shoes, feeding himself, and even tossing a baseball. His brain relearned how to control his new hands. His words, "I'm still the same kid you knew before. I just have hands now, and I can do everything better." He even threw the first pitch at an MLB game. He is awesome. Number 14. Joseph Williams. Joseph Williams was born in Chicago with an extremely rare and unsettling condition called otofacial syndrome. In simple words, he came into the world without a mandible, the lower jawbone, which made it impossible to speak, chew, or breathe normally. As a baby, doctors attempted multiple surgeries to build what was missing, but his body rejected every graft. He now eats through a feeding tube inserted into his stomach and breathes through a tracheostomy in his neck. The condition shaped his childhood. Joseph faced bullying, social rejection, and long periods of isolation, but none of it broke him. Today he works as a welder, communicates using sign language and written notes, and lives independently. In 2020, he married his wife Vanna, defying every expectation placed on him. His story is about survival, yes, but more than that, it's about self-worth. Joseph shows that dignity isn't tied to how you look or how you sound. It's about living on your own jawless terms, with resilience that doesn't ask for permission or pity. Number 13. John Chris Quarante. J.C. Quarante is a young boy from the Philippines, known as the kid with more than 300 teeth. He was born with hyperdontia, which is a pretty uncommon condition. John didn't just have a few extra teeth, his entire mouth was packed with them. The overcrowding caused pain, swelling, and made everyday things like chewing and talking extremely difficult. At just 9 years old, his case caught national and global attention. Surgeons extracted more than 40 teeth in a single procedure, just the start of a long way. He'll need at least 7 more surgeries to remove the rest and align his bite. But despite the medical hurdles, John continues attending school and dreams of becoming a civil engineer. While most kids might have been embarrassed or discouraged, John shows incredible strength. He remains humble, optimistic, and focused. "Even though I'm different, I want to make a difference," he once said. His story goes beyond dental abnormalities. It's about rising through adversity and standing tall, no matter how rare your path may be. Number 12. Jono Lancaster. Jono Lancaster was born with Treacher-Collins syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that affects the formation of facial bones and tissues. He lacks cheekbones, has an underdeveloped jaw, and was born with hearing difficulties. Just 36 hours after his birth, his parents gave him up, reportedly, because they couldn't accept how he looked. He was adopted at 5 by a woman named Jean, who gave him the stability he needed. Growing up, Jono dealt with bullying, shame, and intense insecurity. For years, he avoided mirrors and struggled with his reflection. But instead of hiding, he eventually chose to speak up. Today, Jono travels around the world, meets kids with similar conditions, and promotes acceptance of facial differences. His memoir, Not All Heroes Wear Capes, details his journey and the emotional strength it took to turn rejection into purpose. He now uses his story to help others feel seen, understood, and valued, reminding people that our worth isn't measured by symmetry, but by compassion. And he doesn't have any daughters. She was a little girl with the same fate as him. He just met her. Number 11. Adam Pearson. This 1985-born British actor, presenter, and disability rights advocate is living with the rare and weird condition known as neurofibromatosis type 1 or NF1. A small bump on his head at age 5 didn't heal, eventually leading to a diagnosis. This genetic condition causes tumors to grow along nerve tissues. While Adam has an identical twin, his case is far more visibly severe. He's undergone over 39 surgeries to manage the tumors, though complete removal is often too risky. One of his eyes has been blinded due to tumor growth. Adam first appeared in the 2013 film Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson and later starred in Chained for Life and A Different Man in 2024. Off-screen, he's known for documentaries like Freak Show and The Ugly Face of Disability Hate Crime, where he tackles stereotypes and hate head-on. Through advocacy, film, and public speaking, Adam confronts stigma directly. His visibility in mainstream media helps shift how society sees facial differences, not as flaws, but as facts of life. He is a beautiful man. Number 10. Sierra and Sienna Bernal. Well, picture being born alongside someone who shares your DNA, your birthday, and even your smile, but not your size. Well, it's not fictionology, that's the reality of Sierra and Sienna Bernal, identical twins from Texas with one of the rarest differences ever recorded. Born prematurely on December 22, 1998, Sienna weighed just under 1 pound 8 ounces, smaller than a soda can. Sierra, by contrast, weighed over 4 pounds. Doctors later diagnosed Sienna with a rare form of primordial dwarfism so uncommon it hasn't even been officially classified. Only about 200 people in the world have similar conditions. Today, both are 26. Sienna stands 4 feet and 4. Sierra is 5 and 7, a 13-inch height difference despite being genetically identical. Their case earned 2 Guinness World Records, one for the greatest height gap in identical twins, and another for the rarest form of discordant twinning. Sienna now advocates for disability awareness. Sierra is chasing a music career. Together, they've redefined what it means to be twins, reminding the world that difference isn't a flaw. It's a story worth telling and sharing. Number 9. Godfrey Baguma. Godfrey Baguma, better known by his stage name Sababi, was born in the Ugandan village of Kanzanga with a severely deformed face and skull. His mother abandoned him as a child, claiming he wasn't normal. Raised by his grandmother, he began noticing unusual swelling around age 10, swelling that later affected his ability to breathe properly. In 2002, he entered a contest looking for Uganda's most unusual-looking man. He won, and that spotlight changed everything. He used his appearance as a platform, launching a career in music and comedy. Despite his condition being largely undiagnosed, doctors suspect a rare form of fibrodysplasia, which alters soft tissue growth. Surgery was ruled out due to the risks. Still, Godfrey built a life, a career, and a family. He has 8 children and has expressed concern that some may inherit his features. A portrait of him even earned recognition in international art circles. His story proves that resilience can grow even in the harshest circumstances and still shine. Number 8. Portia Sena. Portia was born with one of the rarest skin conditions on Earth, iphthysis confetti. It causes her skin to shed up to 14 times faster than normal, leaving her covered in red patches and tiny white spots, her skin healing itself in slow motion. People always ask if she's sunburnt. She's not. She's lived with this her whole life. Her brother has it too. From birth, her family connected with dermatologists at NYU, Yale, and CHOP, and found support through the First Foundation. Still, school wasn't easy. Some classmates pitied her, others stared, but by 7th grade, she found friends who treated her like anyone else. Portia later joined TikTok, and a single video explaining her condition hit 13 million views. The comments from med students to paramedics thanked her for teaching them. She's now headed to the Savannah College of Art and Design to study animation. Her goal: live a regular life, share her art, and not let her condition be the headline. Number 7. Tanya Herbert. Tanya is a Houston native, and she holds the Guinness World Record for the largest feet on a living woman in this whole world. Her right foot measures an astounding 13.03 inches, and her left foot is 12.79 inches. Officially confirmed in late 2022, Tanya's record also brought attention to the everyday challenges she faces. Standing at 6 feet and 9, she towered over her peers her entire life. Luckily, she grew up in a supportive home. Her mom stands 6 feet and 5, and her dad 6'4". But even with that support, shopping for shoes was nearly impossible. Tanya had to rely on men's size 16 and 17 shoes or modify extra-large pairs she found online. Over time, social media brought both community and harassment. While some praised her confidence, she also received frequent fetish-based messages and disturbing requests to buy pictures of her feet. Despite that, Tanya's focus remains on change. She hopes her story inspires the footwear industry to create affordable, customized shoes for women with unique sizing needs. Number 6. Akshat Saxena. Akshat Saxena was born in March 2010 in Uttar Pradesh, India, with one of the most extreme cases of polydactyly ever recorded, 14 fingers and 20 toes, totaling 34 digits. That alone earned him a Guinness World Record. But there was more to it. Akshat had no thumbs, which meant that everyday functions like gripping, holding, or writing would be impossible without surgical help. Surgeons at AIMS in Delhi undertook a complex set of operations, removing the extra digits while crafting functional thumbs using parts of the removed fingers. His mother, Amrita Saxena, said she was initially overwhelmed, but never lost faith in his potential. Akshat's story reached global audiences, not just because of his condition, but because of the way medicine, hope, and persistence intersected to create possibility. He represents something rare, not just in biology, but in the way communities rally around difference. With proper care and support, Akshat's future was not only reclaimed, it was reshaped entirely, finger by finger. Number 5. Laxmi. Well now, this one is truly unique. Laxmi was born with a rare facial deformity, an additional piece of tissue on her nose that resembled a trunk. The anomaly gave her a distinct appearance that led to fear and superstition within her community. At just 8 months old, she underwent corrective surgery to remove the excess growth. Though the operation was successful, it left her with the appearance of 2 noses, an outcome based on how the procedure was performed. Over time, her unique look became something else entirely. In her village, many began associating her with the Hindu deity Ganesha, known for his elephant-like features. During festivals, people offered her gifts and blessings. She came to be affectionately called Lakshmi, a name symbolizing wealth and divinity. Despite the recognition, Lakshmi still faced obstacles, especially financial ones that prevented further cosmetic procedures. But her story isn't about fixing appearances. It's about resilience, cultural interpretation, and how a community can turn what once seemed strange into something sacred and powerful. Now let's talk about number 4, Jason Brott. Jason Brott, often referred to, sometimes cruelly by the people as the Illustrated Penguin, is a performer and artist whose life defies every limit thrown at him. Born with sacral agenesis, Jason has no arms. His hands are fused directly to his shoulders, but he never let that stop him. He carved out a name in the Hellzapoppin' circus sideshow, performing jaw-dropping acts like hammering spikes into his nose and lying across a bed of nails. These aren't just stunts, they're how he reclaimed his difference. Off-stage, Jason is also a talented tattoo artist and musician. He runs Ink Impressions Tattoo Studio in Bel Air, Maryland, where his craft reflects the same boldness that defines him. His story was featured in the Born Different series and on other major platforms. But Jason isn't chasing shock value, he's just living life his way. His presence pushes back against every outdated idea of normal, proving that real strength doesn't come from fitting in, it comes from never backing down. So never ever give up. Number 3. Razia Begum. Razia, a woman from Bangladesh, has lived for nearly 2 decades with an astonishing medical condition. Her right leg has swollen to nearly 60 kilograms. She's around 40 years old and a mother of 2. The swelling began after the birth of her second daughter and slowly worsened over time. Despite seeking medical treatment, no definitive cure has been found. Doctors suspect elephantiasis, a rare lymphatic disorder often caused by parasitic infection. It can lead to extreme swelling when the lymphatic drainage system gets blocked. Still, a full diagnosis and surgical intervention remain pending. Because of her condition, Razia is largely bedridden and depends on her family for everything. Simple tasks like moving or sitting require multiple people to assist her. She can't work or help around the home. While her story has been shared in news outlets and on social media, there's little confirmed medical documentation available. Her case sheds light on how rare diseases go untreated in communities with limited healthcare access. Number 2. Chahat Kumar. Chahat Kumar, a young girl from Punjab, India, gained global attention for her rapid weight gain as an infant. Born in 2016 at a normal weight, she began gaining excessively by 4 months. By age 8, she weighed nearly 17 kilograms, close to the average for a healthy 4-year-old. Her parents, Reena and Sairaj Kumar, were alarmed by her uncontrollable appetite. She often ate more than a child twice her age. But seeking help wasn't easy. Living in a rural area, access to advanced healthcare was limited. Basic tests like drawing blood were difficult, as her skin had become abnormally firm. Doctors suspected leptin deficiency, a rare genetic disorder that disrupts hunger signals, making the body constantly crave food. Her condition revealed how difficult it is to manage rare disorders when proper care is out of reach. Chahat's story is not just about a diagnosis, it's about the silent weight of rural medical barriers and the urgent need for awareness, research, and access for families facing the unknown. Number 1. Rana Begum. Now imagine being born with a condition so severe that your head triples in size. That was the reality for Rana Begum, a baby girl from a remote village in Tripura, India. She suffered from hydrocephalus, a disorder where cerebrospinal fluid builds up in the brain, causing intense swelling. Her parents, Abdul and Fatima, had little income and no access to proper care. Everything changed when a local photographer captured a photo of Rana that went viral. The image sparked global sympathy. A Norwegian NGO and Fortis Hospital in India offered free treatment. Multiple surgeries followed, shrinking her head's circumference from 94 to 58 centimeters. Her journey was featured in the Netflix documentary Rooting for Rana, which spotlighted both her medical battle and the deeper healthcare issues in rural India. Sadly, in June 2017, Rana passed away at age 5 due to breathing complications. Her life became a symbol of hope, global empathy, and the challenges millions face without proper access to care. If you found this video interesting, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.